أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وأجل فرجهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري عن فاطمة الزهراء عليه السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال سمعت فاطمة أنها قالت دخل علي أبي رسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة فقلت عليك السلام قال إني أجد في بدني زوفا فقلت له أعوذك بالله يا أبتاه من الزوف فقال يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني بفاتيت بالكساء اليماني فغطيت ببصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن عليه السلام قد أقبل فقال السلام عليك يا أمه فقلت عليك السلام يا قرة عيني وسمرة فؤادي فقال يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء فأقبل الحسن عليه السلام نحو الكساء فقال السلام عليك يا جدا يا رسول الله أتعذرني أدخل معك تحت الكساء فقال عليك السلام يا ولدي يا صاحب حوزي قد أذنت لك فدخل معه تحت الكساء.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولد الحسين عليه السلام قد أقبل فقال السلام عليك يا أمه فقلت عليك السلام يا ولدي يا قرة عيني وسمرة فؤادي فقال لي يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله فقلت نعم إن جدك وخاك تحت الكساء فدنا الحسين عليه السلام نحو الكساء فقال السلام عليك يا جدا السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله أتعذرني نكون معكما تحت الكساء فقال عليك السلام يا ولدي يا شافع أمتي قد أذنت لك فدخل معهما تحت الكساء.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام فقال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله فقلت عليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عم رسول الله فقلت نعم ها هو ما يديك تحت الكساء فأقبل علي عليه السلام نحو الكساء فقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله أتعذرني نكون معكم تحت الكساء قال له عليك السلام يا أخي يا وسيء خليفتي وصاحب لوائي قد أذنت لك فدخل علي عليه السلام تحت الكساء ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله أتعذرون أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء قال وعليك السلام يا بنت يا بزأتي قد أذنت لك فدخلت تحت الكساء
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ برسول الله بطرف الكساء وهما بيد اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وهامتي لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم إنهم مني وأنا منهم واجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم واعصم عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي سكان سماواتي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا منهية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين تحت الكساء. فقال لهم جبرائيل يا رب من تحت الكساء. وقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة معدن الرسالة هم فاطمة وأبوها وبالها وبنوها. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فقال جبرائيل يا رب أتعزون لنحبط إلى الأرض ليكون معهم سادسا. فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام يخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا منهية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم محبتكم وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذنوا لي يا رسول الله. وقال رسول الله عليه السلام يا أمين وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. ودخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني برسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا فاز شيخنا رب الكعبة. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني برسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا فرج الله هما ولا مهموم إلا كشف الله غما ولا طالب حاجة إلا قضى الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وسعدنا كذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة رب الكعبة. Kindly recite one Surah Fatiha for all Mu'min Barhumi. علم کا تو ہمیں سایہ بہت ہے، علم کا تو ہمیں سایہ بہت ہے، ولی کا لال کام آیا بہت ہے، علم کا تو ہمیں سایہ بہت ہے، اور کرے غازی نہ کیوں مشکل کشائی، کرے غازی نہ کیوں مشکل کشائی، ہنر بابا سے یہ پایا بہت ہے، ہنر بابا سے یہ پایا بہت ہے، وہ سنا جبریل کچھ اس گھر کی باتیں، سنا جبریل کچھ اس گھر کی باتیں، درے زہرا پہ تو آیا بہت ہے، درے زہرا پہ تو آیا بہت ہے، محمد
اللہم صلی
بے پردہ حرم ساتھ، بے پردہ حرم ساتھ، اور شام چلا ہے، بے پردہ حرم ساتھ، اور شام چلا ہے، سجاد کو بے موت یہ غم مار گیا ہے، بے پردہ حرم ساتھ، نہ مارو سکینہ کو تماچے ستمگر، نہ مارو سکینہ کو تماچے ستمگر، احساس یتیمی بڑی سخت سزا ہے، بے پردہ حرم ساتھ، اے شیر لئی کس پہ تو برساتا ہے کوڑے، شیر رے لئی کس پہ تو برساتا ہے کوڑے اور آگے تو بڑی دیر بے ہوش پڑا ہے بے پردہ حرم ساتھ او یوسف جسے شبیر نے سینچا تھا لہو سے یوسف جسے شبیر نے سینچا تھا لہو سے اس دین پہ سایہ کیے زینب کی رضا ہے بے پردہ حرم ساتھ اور شام چلا ہے سجاد کو بے موت یہ غم گیا ہے بے پردہ حرم شہید سے کوئی شمشیر کا مزہ پوچھے مریض سے کوئی اکسیر کا مزہ پوچھے اسیر سے کوئی زنجیر کا مزہ پوچھے یتیم سے کوئی دلگیر کا مزہ پوچھے یتیم سے کوئی دلگیر کا مزہ پوچھے ہر ایک پر گزرا زمانے میں رنج و غم ہے سہارا عابد بیمار سالم ہے سہارا عابد بیمار سالم ہے شہید ہوتے ہوئے باپ کو پسر دیکھا انی پنیز کی ہے سر پدر دیکھا جوان بھائی کا نکلا ہوا جگر دیکھا پھوپھی کو آنکھوں سے بلوے میں ننگے سر دیکھا کسی نبی بنا اس طرح کے علم گزرے جو اس مریض پر ہر طرح کے ستم گزرے جو اس مریض پر ہر طرح کے جو اس مریض پر ہر طرح کے ستم گزرے پھر آیا
نبی کے کنبے کو بلوے میں لے گئے آدھا جلایا خیمہ نامو سے سید والا ہرا کے بلوے میں زندان میں قید کر ڈالا تماشا دیکھنے سب اہل شام آتے تھے حیا سے اہل حرم گردنیں جھکاتے تھے حیا سے اہل حرم گردنیں جھکاتے تھے جو پہنچے کربو بلا بدے اسیر بلا ادھر کو دے کے کفن خاک میں رکھا لاشا لپٹ کے قبر سے چلائیوں کے بابا وطن کو جاتا ہوں لو آخری میرا وطن کو جاتا ہوں لو آخری میرا وطن کو جاتا ہوں لو آخری میرا مجرا وطن سے آیا تھا کس شان سے یہاں ہے لٹا کے گھر کو میں جاتا ہوں نیند لٹا کے گھر کو میں جاتا ہوں نیند لٹا کے گھر کو میں جاتا ہوں نیند پھوپھی کو سونپ کے جنگل میں سید والا مدینے میں ہوا داخل وہ بے کس و تنہا ولی شام کے حاکم نے زہر بھجوایا وہ سن کے کھاتے ہیں عابد نے کی جہاں سے قضا فلک بہورو ملک عرش کو ہلانے لگے زمین پر جن و بشر زمین پر جن و بشر سر پہ خاک اڑانے لگے زمین پر جن و بشر سر پہ خاک اڑانے لگے محب و داغے علم دل پدھر گئے سجاد جو کھایا زہر تو صد ہے مر گئے سجاد نبی کی آل کو بے آس کر گئے سجاد یتیم ہو گئے باقر گزر گئے سجاد سر اپنا پیٹتے مرکز سے مصطفیٰ نکلے کلیجہ کام کے کیوں کرنا فاطمہ نکلے کلیجہ کام کے کیوں کرنا فاطمہ کلیجہ کام کے کیوں کرنا فاطمہ نکلے خدا کے عرش کا تارا گزر گیا لوگوں غضب ہے شاہ ہمارا گزر گیا لوگوں وہ بے کسوں کا سہارا گزر گیا لوگوں حسن حسین کا پیارا گزر گیا لوگوں حسن حسین کا پیارا گزر گیا حسن حسین کا پیارا گزر گیا لوگوں مدینہ لٹ گیا یا مصطفیٰ دعائی ہے نجف گزر گیا مرتضیٰ دعائی ہے نجف گزر گیا یا مرتضیٰ دعائی ہے مدینہ لٹ گیا یا مصطفیٰ دعائی ہے نجف گزر گیا یا مرتضیٰ دعائی ہے نجف گزر گیا یا مرتضیٰ دعائی ہے حسین 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 یا حسین حسین الغریب الغریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین حسین الغریب الغریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین دہائی دہائی خدا را دہائی یہ دشت بلا میں ہے کیسی تباہی بتایا ہے کس نے یہ خون محمد قیامت یہ دھائی ہے کس نے اڑائی جوانوں بزرگوں کو مارا گیا ہے شہیدوں میں شامل ہے ننھا سپاہی حسین الغریب الغریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین کیا جشن برپا یوں اہل ہوس نے شہیدوں کے لاشیں پہ ڈنکا بجائے جلا ڈالے آل محمد کے خیمے سکینہ کے منہ پر تماچے لگائے جو بیمار تھا اس کا بستر نہ چھوڑا نبی زادیوں پر بھی درے چلائے حسین الغریب الغریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین حسین الغریب الغریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین اٹھی اپنے مرکز سے بنت محمد سیاہ شک کی چادر میں چہرہ چھپا کر گئی کربلا میں تو اس نے یہ دیکھا ہے بوسیدہ کرتا میں ایک لاش بے سر بدن سارا تیروں سے چلنی پڑا ہے لہو میں ہے ڈوبا ہوا سارا پیکر حسین الغریب الغریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین حسین شہید الغریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین تڑپ کر وہ چلائی شبیر بیٹا لہو میں نہا ہے وہ سر بھی جدا ہے تبر کس نے ماری ہے سارے بدن پر یہ تیروں پہ کس نے جنازہ رکھا ہے کہاں ہے میرا لال عباس بولو میں پوچھوں گی اس سے یہ کیسے ہوا ہوا ہے حسین
غریب غریب حسین
حسین شہید شہید الحسین حسین غریب
غریب حسین حسین شہید شہید حسین
صدا سن کے زہرا کی تھرائے غازی حسین حسین 14 تن سے سرتا شان کٹے تھے غموں یا سو یسرت میں مجبور مضطر کہا کیا کہ دریا کہیں پر نہیں ہے حسین غریب غریب الحسین حسین شہید شہید الحسین حسین الغریب الغریب
حسین
حسین شہید
شہید حسین
کبھی دل میں دیتی وہ ماں کو صدائی کبھی رو کے کہتی کہ بابا کہاں ہو شہیدوں کا نوحہ تھا اس کے زباں پر ابد کس طرح اس کے غم کا کہاں ہو ہمیں بھی شہادت ہو نصرت کی حاصل خدا را ظہور امام جہاں ہو حسین الغریب غریب الحسین
حسین شہید شہید حسین
صلوات
مجھے مطلوب ہوگا جام لینا جب بھی کو سر کا سلام ایسا
پڑھوں گا دل بھرائے گا پیغمبر
سلام ایسا پڑھوں گا دل
بھرائے گا پیغمبر
زمین کربلا کیا پوچھنا تیرے مقدر کا ہے تجھ میں
آج تک محفوظ سرمایہ پیغمبر
ہے تجھ میں آج تک
محفوظ سرمایہ پیغمبر
کمر کم کیوں نہ ہو دل غم سے ٹوٹے کیوں نہ سرور کا علم بردار
آخر بھائی تھا بازو برابر
علم بردار
آخر بھائی تھا بازو برابر
الطب دریا نمبر دار بھی کام آ گیا آخر
بسب اللہ حافظ حضرت زینب کی چادر
بسب اللہ حافظ
حضرت زینب کی چادر
تیری غیرت کو آخر کیا ہوا کچھ تو نے سوچا بھی بڑی محفل میں کیسا تذکرہ زینب
کی چادر
بڑی محفل میں کیسا تذکرہ
زینب کی چادر
گھڑی پر بھی رباب آرام سے سونے نہیں پاتی وہ جب کربت بدلتی ہے خیالات بدلتی ہے خیالات ازدار کا مجھے مطلوب ہوگا.
دشمنان نبی پہ لعنت، دشمنان علی پہ لعنت، دشمنان زہرا پہ لعنت. نعرہ حیدری، نعرہ
کربلا رن میں جو زینب کے گلے تر آئے پہ کرے جان وفا دل بر جعفر آئے کربلا رن میں جو زینب کے گلے تر آئے ناصری دین خدا جان پیمبر آئے کرنے اسلام کی قسمت کو جاگر آئے حضرت سرور دلگیر پجانے قربان حضرت سرور دلگیر پجانے قربان باندھ کر سر سے کفن دونوں برادر آئے فدیہ حضرت شبیر بجانے قربان فدیہ حضرت شبیر بجانے قربان پہلو شوق شہادت میں ہما کر آئے پارا پارا ہوا ترمیم جگر زینب کا پارا پارا ہوا ترمیم جگر زینب کا بعد شبیر جو نیزوں پکڑے سر آئے بعد شبیر جو نیزوں پہ کٹے سر آئے. فاتحہ. صلوات.
محمد وآل محمد.
آمد البتے پیامبر کی شام میں
کربلا میں زینب یہ دعا کرتی ہے بتایا زینب یہ دعا کرتی ہے بتایا لوگوں خبر کرو میرے نانا رسول کو بلوے میں شمر لائے بنتے بطول بلوے میں شمر لائے بنتے بطول نانا تیری نواسی کے سرے پر جا نہیں اور اہل شام دیکھتے ہیں کچھ حیا نہیں آبے غریب مرتا ہے تب سے دوا نہیں بے ہوش کرنے بچے آپ بے ہوش کرنے بچے آپ دل سب کے کانپتے ہیں بدن تھر تھراتے ہیں اب سامنے یزید کے ساتھ اب سامنے یزید کے ساتھ جاتے ہیں بارہ گلے وا مصیبتہ روتے ہیں گودیوں کے پلے وا مصیبتہ بس میں ستم گھروں کے چلے وا مصیبتہ خاکے ازائم خاکے ازائم مشکل قدم اٹھانا تھا جہاں میں یوں اطرت نبی گئی بلوایا میں زینب تڑپ کے اون پا کرتی تھی یہ بیان دربار میں طلب ہوئی سادات ناگہاں اونٹوں سے اتری بیبیاں کہہ کے علماء پیشے یزید لے گئے پیشے یزید لے گئے سامان جشن عام تھا دربار عام تھا اور ننگے سر حسین کا دلہا اور ننگے سر حسین کا دلہا تمام مطرب ترانہ سنج تھے شادماں پڑھتے تھے تہنیت کے قصیدہ خاں حاضر وکیل رومو ختن باشی کوشاں ہاتھوں پہ نظر پتھر یہ بردو ہاتھوں پہ نظر پتھر یہ بردو چلاتی تھی بطور یہ ظلم شدید ہے یا رب تیرے حسین کے من کی یا رب تیرے حسین کے من کی ناگا بڑھ کے شمرے نہیں نے کیا سلام بولا کہ اے امیر یہ شادی کا ہے مقام امیدوار خلتو جاگیر ہے غلام حاضر ہے سر شہیدوں کے ورثہ حاضر ہے سر شہیدوں کے ورثہ بڑھ کر پکارو مرا کے اپنا جگر ہے یہ ہم شبیہ خاص پیغمبر کا سر ہے یہ واللہ اس کے رنجو علم میں بسد بکا فرزند بوترابا فرزند بوترابا تجرا یہ ذکر تھا کہ حشر کا ساما ہو گیا گھبرا گیا یزید کے گھبرا گیا یزید کے کیا بتا دیکھا تو ہو بولا بھی بادشاہ آتا ہے سارے چھوٹے بچے کا ہاتھوں سارے چھوٹے بچے کا ہاتھوں بلا بولا بتا تو اس نے بھلا کی تھی کیا قضا تو نے اسے نشانہ کیا تیرے ظلم کا بچے پہ بھی نہ کھایا ترس تو نے بے حیا یہ نانا سا گلا ہو تیرا یہ نانا سا گلا ہو تیرا نہ ہوگے بتلا تو کس فلک کا یہ محل बढ़ के मेरा बानू पुकारी बढ़ के मेरा हैरान खड़े थे सब हमेशा मशरक मोरे सुकूत न पना शिकवा न शोर शेर ज़ैनब ने देखा तख्त पा नागा सरे हुसैन बेसाख्ता तरक्की करने लगी है न मौत आई मुझे राहे शाम में भैया मेरा सलाम दो दरबार भैया मेरा सलाम दो दरबार आम भैया मेरा सलाम दो दरबार आम में
الزهراء بلندتر صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآل محمد صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أدري يا أدري يا نار صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وجعلناهم أئمة يهدون بأمرنا وأوحينا إليهم فعل الخيرات وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وكانوا لنا عابدين. For the love of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein and his holy household and the Imam who we are commemorating today, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all and accept all of our a'mal, and especially the a'mal of the host of this Majlis, Syed Hasan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless their family and bless all of your families in attending the Majalis of Imam Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. These days, the days of Moharram and the days of Safar, which are approaching, are days of Aza, days of mourning, days of remembering the calamities that fell on the family of Imam al-Hussein and the family of Rasulullah. However, these days are also days of lessons. These days are days of learning, of benefiting, of getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, becoming better mu'mineen, being able to deal with life's challenges, the daily challenges that we face, living in this country, upholding our faith, raising our families. Life is full of challenges, but we learn from the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. We learn from Rasulullah, we learn from the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt, and we learn from Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam as well how to deal with the challenges that we're facing every day. If just attending the Majlis of Imam Hussein are just for us to cry without learning anything, without benefiting anything, then that means that we have not maximized the potential of these Majlis. If just remembering the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt and just shedding tears on their own, even though tears, just the tears for Imam Hussein have huge amounts of barakah in our lives. But in addition to the tears, there needs to be other things that come with it. We need to become better individuals. We need to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about the Ahlul Bayt and Rasulullah, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. And Rasulullah, you have the best role model. And from these majalis we are inspired. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the lessons that we are inspired from Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam and the story of Imam al-Hussein is to deal with life's challenges. Look at Imam Zayn al-Abidin. He lived in a time where his father was killed. 17 members other than Imam al-Hussein from the family of Rasulullah, from the family of the Ahlul Bayt, they were all killed within 1 hour. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam did not have the freedom to express himself. His father, who was Imam al-Hussein, who was greater than him, who was with the Prophet, they killed him. Of course they're going to kill Imam Zayn al-Abidin if he speaks out. And you see that killing Imam al-Hussein was not just a one-day event. It was a whole government. And they used all of their government apparatus. They used all of their resources, not only to kill Imam al-Hussein, but to silence the voice of Imam al-Hussein, to censor the voice of Islam and the voice of the Quran and the voice of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is why you see they employed poets. They had an army that killed Imam al-Hussein, but on the other side they brought judges and scholars and poets, and they used all of the government resources, the government apparatus, to silence the Ahlul Bayt, because their aim was to silence Islam. Their aim was to silence the Quran. And their war was not just against Imam Hussein, it was against Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this is why the hadith of Rasulullah, he says, Husaynun minni wa ana min Husayn. Ahabballahu man ahabba Husayna. Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. We all understand what Hussein is from me means. Every grandfather, every father will say, my son is from me. But when Rasulullah says, and I am from Hussein, he's trying to tell us, and he's trying to tell the Muslims that the religion of Islam will survive and endure the challenges and the obstacles through Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Now, after they killed Imam al-Hussein, the religion of Islam came under an existential threat. When you have someone like Imam al-Hussein being killed by an army that claims to be Muslim, that means the whole religion was about to be wiped out. But there were two individuals that defended the religion of Islam and defended the Quran. One was Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, who not only she took it on a task upon herself to defend and take care of the children of Imam Hussein, but she took it a task upon herself to defend the message and the principles of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And second, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi. But how did Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam flip the narrative? You see, all of the odds were against him. Everything was against him. The military, the political atmosphere, the social atmosphere, everything was against him. Everyone. The Imam alayhi salam, he said that we lived in a time where there was only a handful of people that would defend the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. How much worse can it get when the family of Imam Hussein are paraded across the Muslim land, paraded to Kufa and all the way to Damascus, and there's no people are looking at them. People that pray and fast and go to Hajj, but the essence of Islam was gone. What did the Imam alayhi salam do where he managed to flip the narrative? And by the end of his life, you see Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he was the one who was being remembered. He was the one who many of the Sunni scholars, many of those people who were not loyal to Amir al-Mu'mineen, they would not consider themselves Shia, they became followers of Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein Zayn al-Abidin. And Bani Umayyah, they started going in decline. Bani Umayyah, they started going in decline. This is why Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, because the Umayyads, they ruled from the children of Abu Sufyan until Yazid. After Yazid, that line, the children of Abu Sufyan, they lost their power because they killed the Ahlul Bayt, because they were against Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. Marwan comes to rule. They're the Marwanis, the Umayyads, who are from the children of Marwan, not from the children of Abu Sufyan. That was gone. Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, when he places Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi in Kufa, he tells him, Jannibni dima'a Bani Hashim. He tells him, keep me away from the blood of Bani Hashim. He tells him, why? He says, because we see what happens when people turn against Bani Hashim. Abu Sufyan and Muawiyah, who ruled for 40 years, they lost their power within a few days. They lost their power. So he said, keep me away from the blood of Zayn al-Abidin. So Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he managed to change things around. The political environment, he resisted. When it comes to the social environment, when it comes to the ethical environment, when it comes to the education, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam had a huge role in uplifting society and keeping the message of Islam alive in his own way. Yes, he does not have the freedom to come and speak publicly, but the Imam alayhi salam, he did a few things. And this is a major lesson for all of us, my dear brothers and sisters. And that is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us many places in the Quran, if you remain with the truth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be there for you. If you stay with God, if you defend your principles and your values, Allah is not going to neglect you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet, مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. Allah, your Lord never left you. In another verse, Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Those who strive in the cause of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show them the way. You will ultimately reach your goal. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الصَّابِرِينَ. God is with those who are patient. And look at Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. There were individuals, Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, Tawus al-Yamani, Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak, Al-Hasan al-Basri. These are all Sunni scholars, not Shia, but you see they became individuals who loved Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. And they all narrate very beautiful stories from the life of Imam Zayn al-Abidin. We will try to mention a few of them, inshallah. One, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, how did he manage to flip the narrative? For several ways. One, the Imam alayhi salam always remains hopeful. And this is a lesson for us. One of the worst sins, my dear brothers and sisters, after shirk in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, associating a partner with God, is to lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lose faith in God. And today, we see that we are living in times where some Muslims, they say, where's God's justice? Where's God's mercy? What's going on? You see all of these people in Gaza, all over the world, all of the powers, they're united against the Ahlul Bayt and against the Muslims, and you see many Muslims being killed and massacred. Some people, they come and they lose hope. We should never lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Even when Imam al-Hussein was killed, Imam Zayn al-Abidin never lost hope. Sayyida Zaynab alayhi salam never lost hope. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, if you have God in your heart, then let the whole world turn against you. Allah is with you. This is what Amir al-Mu'mineen he says. Amir al-Mu'mineen he says, لو اجتمعت العرب, if all of the Arabs they unite to fight me, لما وليت, I would never run away. I would never turn down. Because when you are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never leave you. And this is very important, my dear brothers and sisters. Now, and it was important at the time of Imam al-Hussein, and at any time, we need to always be optimistic. We need to never lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe people will let you down. Maybe people will close their door in your face. Will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leave you? Will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala close the door in your face? Of course, Allah will never do that. This is why we have to keep our faith and our hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very strong. And if you live with that optimistic lifestyle, you see that your life will be very different. You see two people. Also, we run into these people all the time. Some people, they're always hopeful, they're always optimistic, they're always positive. There's other people, they always make as if your life is always ending, as if it's the end of the world. They always make everything so dark. They make everything so miserable. A mu'min is a person who is always optimistic. How can I not be optimistic when Allah is my Lord? How can I not be optimistic? How can I lose hope when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listening to me? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا. Do not give up hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. God forgives, God is loving, God is compassionate, God is merciful. There was a man, we mentioned his name. He's not from the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. His name is Hasan al-Basri. Hasan al-Basri, today he's known to be from the Sufis and those who had ibadah. And he also lived at a time during the time of Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. This man, he has a statement. He says, I'm not surprised if everyone makes it into the hellfire, but I would be surprised if people make it to paradise. And this is the logic that a lot of people have. Right now, for example, imagine the top universities in America, Harvard. Imagine some of the best schools. You say, I'm not surprised if people did not make it into Harvard, but I would be surprised if someone makes it into Harvard. This is our thinking. This is our thinking when it comes to these schools. We say, I would be surprised if I see, for example, this person make it into the school. But if someone didn't make it, I'm not going to be surprised because most people don't make it. He said the same thing about heaven. When Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he heard what he said. And the Imam, he said, the truth is the opposite. ليس العجب ممن نجا كيف نجا وأما العجب ممن هلك كيف هلك مع سعة رحمة الله. He says, I'm not shocked at the one who makes it into paradise. I'm shocked at the one who loses the test with Allah, with God's vast mercy. How could someone go to the hellfire? So you see Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, in a time where the whole world has turned against him, where everyone has neglected him, the Imam alayhi salam did not become hopeless. Today, some of us, we have one minor problem in our life. Maybe I bumped my car, maybe something happened, maybe I didn't get the house I wanted, I didn't get the income I wanted. What? Something very small and we become depressed and we go through anxiety and we suffer. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, they killed his father and all of the suffering that he saw, but the Imam alayhi salam did not become hopeless. He kept his hope, and the job of the Imam is not to always remain hopeful, but inspire hope in others. And this is what the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam always did. This is one. Second, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he was living in a time where the Ummah was stripped of all knowledge, stripped of all akhlaq, stripped of all morality. There was no morality. How could an Ummah gather and kill the grandson of the Prophet? That means that there's no akhlaq. That means there's no morality. That means they know nothing about the religion of Islam and the essence of the religion of Islam. And this is exactly what governments and powers that want to control people, this is what they do. They try to take away religion from people. They try to separate religion and morality and akhlaq from people. They come and they tell you, live your life however you want to live. It's a free country, it's a free world, go dress how you want, talk to whoever you want, eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want, do whatever you want. They come in the form, in the way of freedom. We want to give you freedom, but in fact they're enslaving you. Look what they did in France a few days ago. The opening of the Olympics, they come and they make fun of Jesus. They make fun of the Last Supper. And what's ironic is that the Muslims, they came out in defense of Isa alayhi salam. Even countries, they say we're a Christian country, we're founded of these European countries, they say we're the Christians, we are the ones who know best. But they came and their Jesus alayhi salam, the Prophet of God, is being mocked by individuals, men who are dressed as women, and then they come and they make fun of Isa alayhi salam. It is the Muslims who defend Isa. Yes, and we will continue defending the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you see, when governments, they want to take advantage of people and use people, they take away morality and they take away religion. And this is exactly what Bani Umayyah did. Bani Umayyah, they had an agenda. What was their agenda? Their agenda is to rule. And they don't want anyone to speak out against them. They don't want anyone to say anything to them. And for them, rule and holding on to power means we're just going to expand the Muslim land. And there are still people until today, they come and they say, why do you Shia speak about Bani Umayyah? Bani Umayyah, they took the Muslim empire all the way to Spain. All the way to Spain, they reached it over there. What did Ali ibn Abi Talib do? What did the Ahlul Bayt do? They think that they defined success by conquest. Because they wanted slaves to come, they wanted more income, they wanted, that's all that they wanted, empire building. While the religion of Islam teaches us to pass along the soul of Islam and the essence of Islam. And this is why they didn't care to strip away morality and akhlaq. One of the things that Bani Umayyah were doing during the time of Imam Zayn al-Abidin, immediately after the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, was that they were removing the sanctity from the city of Medina, the city of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They would bring singers, and they would bring poets, and they would bring all of these things that bring people away from God in the city of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this was their whole objective. Otherwise, if Yazid and Bani Umayyah, they just wanted to rule, Imam Hussein would not have said anything. They would have done like all the others. But they wanted the green light from Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein told them, I can't give you the green light. They killed him. So, how is Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam going to deal with that? He did several things. One, he taught people the akhlaq and the etiquette and the morality. Through what? Through Risalat al-Huquq, the treaties on rights. Today, the treaties on rights of Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam is probably one of the oldest documents that discusses the rights of individuals in society. You go in the West, Europe, America, what do they talk about? Which documents are they going to bring? They're going to say the US Constitution, they're going to say the Magna Carta, they're going to say these documents that were written 300, 400, 200 years ago. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam in his Risalat al-Huquq, he talks about all of the rights of your family, the rights of God, the rights of yourself, the rights of the masjid, the rights of every person you interact with, every person you could think of that you might interact with in your life. This person has huquq, this person has rights. And when we begin to acknowledge the rights of individuals, then we will respect them. Then we will not transgress and cross the red lines. Today, you see here in the West, they talk about human rights, and they talk about the rights of feminists, and the rights of men, and the rights of animals, and the rights of this and that. But then you see what's going on. You see the genocide that's going on in Gaza, and everyone is silent. Everyone's afraid to speak. Where are the human rights? Where are the human rights? The real human rights, you take it from the Quran, you take it from the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. One of the things that he had to do, because the rights were all gone, people did not even know how to deal with one another. There was no akhlaq, there was no ethics, there was no morality. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he had to come and reteach people what are the rights, what are the huquq of people in the community, in society. And this is one of the greatest contributions that the Imam alayhi salam did. And the Imam alayhi salam, he did this through his words, and he also did it through actions. Through action. When I talk about the rights of the poor, when I talk about the rights of people who are beneath me in status, people who don't have much, it's easy to talk about this. And we find ourselves talking about this a lot in Islam. In Islam, inna akramakum inda Allahi atqakum. Rarely the best in the eyes of God is the one who has the most piety. However, when we live our lives, we discriminate sometimes. Sometimes we look down at a person. We see someone who's poor, we see someone who has this passport, or someone who lives in this country. Everyone does that. But you see the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt, they were the ones who practiced what they preach. Look at Imam Hussein alayhi salam. On the day of Ashura, how he treats Joan. Joan, he comes and he puts his face on the face of Joan. When Joan falls on the ground, they say he did the same thing that he did to his own son Ali al-Akbar. This is Imam Hussein. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he spoke about rights of people in the community, but he implemented it as well. One man, Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. This man, he was not a Shia. He was not a follower of the Ahlul Bayt. Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, he says one day it was a cold, wintry night. When it's cold, when it's windy, when it's wintry, where do people want to stay? They want to stay in their home. No one's going to come out. He said, I saw Ali ibn Hussein on that cold night. He is out and he's carrying something very heavy on his bag. I come to him, I tell him, oh my master, what are you doing? He says, I'm preparing for my safar. I'm preparing for my journey. The Imam Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, he tells him, I have some men. He used to work he was a man who was in charge. He had some authority. He tells him, I will send my men to come and carry this from your back. Why are you carrying it? He said, he tells me something very strange. He tells me this is a journey that only I could carry my belongings for. He said, I didn't understand what he's saying, and he left. He said, the next day, I see Imam Zayn al-Abidin in Medina. He's still in Medina. I thought he was going to travel. He's still here. He said, I tell him, oh my master, what are you doing? You're still here. Which journey? I thought you were supposed to travel. He said, he told me I was preparing for the journey of the Akhirah. Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, he said, I realized Ali ibn Hussein is carrying that heavy bag on his shoulder. It's full of food. He goes and he distributes it to the people who are in need in the city. These are the teachings of the Imams. When they teach you akhlaq, when they teach you human rights, they are the ones who are practicing it. The Imam alayhi salam, he teaches the essence of forgiving. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us in the Quran how to forgive. Today, a lot of the anxiety and stress that we have in our lives is because we're dealing with other people, social issues. and we find it difficult to forgive other people. We find it difficult to let go of something. We always have a grudge. We're always unwilling to let go. And my dear brothers and sisters, Islam tells you let go. Let go. Allah is forgiving, you be forgiving as well. If you want God to forgive you, you be ready to forgive other people. And when you do that, you're going to feel that you're very light. You're not carrying this burden, you're not carrying this hate and grudge in your heart. And you live stress-free. And this is how the Imams A.S. would practice. Imam al-Hussein on the day of Ashura, very easily he tells Al-Hur, and tuktatab Allahu alayhi. No holding any grudges. He could have told him, you're the very reason where this happened to us. Because it was Hur. It was Hur who did that to Imam al-Hussein. But then when Hur repented, Imam al-Hussein tells him, join us. And Imam al-Hussein welcomed him. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam the same. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he did exactly the same. One day a man comes to him and he begins to curse at Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. He begins to curse at him. What would you do? Put yourself in his shoes. What would I do if a stranger, someone who comes and they begin to curse and they begin to use all of the bad words and whatever they know about you? What are we going to do? Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he looks at the man and he smiles and he tells him, if what you say about me is true, then may Allah forgive me. And if what you say about me is not the truth, then may Allah forgive you. The man, he began to cry and he tells the Imam, Wallah, what I say about you is not true. I am the one, all these bad words, that's me. You are not what I'm saying and I'm describing. He tells him, then the Imam tells him, then why did you do that? He tells him, there were people, they told me, we will give you money if you're able to anger Ali ibn al-Hussein. If you're able to anger him, we're going to give you money. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he smiles. He tells him, if you needed something, come to me and I will give you. And then he tells his men, give this man something. These are the akhlaq of the Ahlul Bayt. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes this in the Quran. And this is something that was practiced by the Ahlul Bayt, all of them. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he practiced that. Allah says in the Quran, idfa' billati hiya ahsan. Repel evil with good. When we see evil, we repel it with evil. When I see someone angry, I become angry. When I see someone curse, I start cursing as well. How do you stop a bully? How do you stop someone who's harassing you and abusing you? Show them kindness. Show them akhlaq. Idfa' billati hiya ahsan. Repel evil with good. Allah says in the Quran, فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. The one who has adawa, the one who's your enemy, that relationship will become a relationship of love. And then Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ. No one is able to do this except two qualities. وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا. You have to have patience. You have to have patience in order to be able to do that. And Allah says, وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ. Someone who is blessed by God. You need to be blessed by God. You need to ask Allah for the tawfiq to be able not only to build a healthy relationship with God, but a healthy relationship with people in your community and society. And sometimes that means I have to let go of the grudges. I have to let go of the hate. I have to fix my relationship with people in my community and my society. One day Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he saw a man holding on to the Kaaba. And the man is crying and he's saying, Allahumma ighfirli. Oh Allah, forgive me, but I know you will never forgive me. Oh Allah, forgive me, but I know you will never forgive me. The Imam tells him, why are you saying that? How could you say Allah will never forgive you? The man, he says, I committed a crime that I don't believe Allah will forgive me. He tells him, what did you do? He tells him, I was from those who participated in the murder of your fathers. Imam Zayn al-Abidin doesn't tell him Allah is going to forgive you. But the Imam alayhi salam, he tells him, you losing hope in God's mercy is a greater sin than even the murder of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Look at the heart that the Imam alayhi salam has, where he is able to speak to someone who participated in the murder of Imam al-Hussein, but he says the word of the truth. Now, whether God is going to forgive that person or not, probably not, because when someone commits a crime like that, they don't have the tawfiq to do good anymore. Not that God does not forgive. God forgives if someone changes their life. But sometimes when we commit, when we do things that are so wrong, it will have an impact on us. It's like the person who drinks, and then they have the consequences of drinking, the consequences of drugs, the consequences of that, they remain in the body, and that ends up hindering your progress, and it ends up hindering your success. So the Imam alayhi salam, he taught people, and he also practiced. Look at one of the beautiful du'as of the Imam alayhi salam, du'a makaram al-akhlaq. In a society of no akhlaq, the Imam alayhi salam, he comes and he brings du'a makaram al-akhlaq, to teach people the importance of akhlaq and what it means to have akhlaq, what it means to be a worshipper, what it means to fulfill our duties and our responsibilities in our communities. This is one angle that the Imam alayhi salam taught, and of course he had many ways of teaching. One way that the Imam alayhi salam educated people in community and in the society is that he would purchase slaves. Remember we said Bani Umayyah, they were just bringing slaves. That was their goal. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he would purchase these slaves, he would educate them, he would teach them, he would give them the respect and honor that a human being deserves. And then at the end of the year, after they have been empowered, after they have been educated, after they know the language now, after they know the religion now, after they have become students of Zayn al-Abidin, then the Imam alayhi salam, on the eve of Eid, he would go and free them all in the way of Allah. That after the Imam alayhi salam would free them, some of them they would cry and they would beg to remain with the Imam alayhi salam. They say, I don't want life other than this life. I don't want to go anywhere other than with the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And this is what we say to the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. We say, accept us as slaves. Accept us as the abd of the Ahlul Bayt, and this is a greater life than being on our own without the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And we ask Allah to be with the Ahlul Bayt in this life and in the afterlife, inshallah. My dear brothers and sisters, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he also did something that was very important. And that is that he taught people the essence of ibadah and the essence of worship. When people do not have ibadah and worship in their lives, you see, they will fail. You need God in your life. You need ibadah in your life. Sometimes I see some people, they say, I do everything. I fast in the month of Ramadan. I cry for Imam al-Hussein. I attend the Majlis for Imam al-Hussein, but I don't pray. How could you not pray? When you don't pray, that means you're saying, I don't want to have a relationship with God. That means you're saying, I don't care about this relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of the tawfiq, all of the blessings, all of the honor, everything in this life and in the afterlife is built upon that connection with God. How could you live without connection? It's like someone having the best phone, the best computer, but there's no internet. They're disconnected. If you're disconnected, then you can't do anything. That's it. You can't do anything. Go and buy the best phone, the most expensive gadget, whatever it is, you won't be able to do anything. You need to keep that line of connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Imam alayhi salam, in a time where people were disconnected from ibadah, disconnected from worship, the Imam alayhi salam was Zayn al-Abidin, the adornment of the worshippers. And this title, my dear brothers and sisters, this was a title given to him by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah says, on the day of judgment, وَإِذَا بِوَلَدِ Imam al-Hussein and his son Ali ibn al-Hussein he will cross the Sirat on the day of judgment. يَتَخَطَّ الرِّقَابِ. A munadi, a caller will call out, أَيْنَ زَيْنُ الْعَابِدِينَ. Where is the adornment, the beauty of the worshippers? وَإِذَا بِوَلَدِي عَلِيُّ بْنِ الْحُسَيْنِ يَتَخَطَّ الرِّقَابَ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. And Ali ibn al-Husayn will be escorted and taken to paradise. This is a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, narrated also by this man, Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. Because he used to say, Ali ibn al-Husayn, Zayn al-Abidin. Some people told him, why do you call him Zayn al-Abidin? He says the hadith that he heard from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Of course, through a transmission. He wasn't a direct Sahaba from the Prophet. So, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam was a abid. And my dear brothers and sisters, we don't only need prayer because God has commanded us to pray. I need prayer because I become a better person when I pray. Because it helps me deal with life's difficulties and challenges. When I'm suffering, when I'm going through difficulties, can I deal with it alone? No, I need support. I need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I need someone that has promised to be there for me. I need someone that has always supported me. I need someone that tells me, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِي إِذَا دَعَانِ. I need someone that has promised to answer me. Who has promised to answer me other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It is only God. This is why Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he was known for his ibadah. He was known for his worship. And believe me, it is through the ibadah that the Imam alayhi salam was able to endure the difficulties and challenges that he saw and he witnessed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet, you want to be successful, you want to endure the difficulties and the challenges that you're facing, then you need to have ibadah. يَا أَيُّهَا الْمُزَّمِّلْ قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا نِصْفَهُ أَوْ انْقُصْ مِنْهُ قَلِيلًا أَوْ زِدْ عَلَيْهِ وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet, pray, and then you will be able, إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. You have a very difficult task ahead of you. So you will survive through prayer. And the Imam alayhi salam, this is what he used to do. The Imam alayhi salam, and he did not do this when he became older. Today there are some people, they say, when I become older, I'm going to go to Hajj, I'm going to wear the hijab, I'm going to start praying, I'm going to do everything. When I become old, now let me have fun with my life. No. It's too late when you're older. Ibadah is not a switch that you just turn on and off. It needs to grow like a plant. If you have a small plant, you pour water, you keep giving it water until it becomes that big tree. You can't just suddenly expect to change your life around. This is what Umar ibn Sa'd thought he would do. He said, I'll kill Hussein and then I'll do tawbah after 2 years. It doesn't work that way. You need to feed that spirituality. And look at Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. Of course, he's the son of Imam Hussein, the grandson of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He started ibadah when he was a young child. There's a man by the name of Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak. Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak, he says, we were traveling to the Hajj. And the caravans, they're all traveling from Medina all the way to Mecca. And the caravans, they stay together, and there's a path that the caravans are on. People are all traveling together. He says, I look far from the caravan, a young child who looked like he was around 7 years old, Suba'i. He's walking on his own. He doesn't have any caravan, he doesn't have anything, no food, he's just walking on his own. He says, I was shocked, what is this kid doing on his own? He says, I go to him, I tell him, أين زادك وأين راحلتك وأين مقصدك? Where's your zad? Where's the food? What do you have to carry with you? وأين راحلتك? What are you traveling with? وأين مقصدك? And where is your end goal? He says, he looked at me and he tells me, راحلتي رجلاي. My rahila, my caravan, or my feet? راحلتي رجلاي وزادي تقواي. My zad, what gives me the strength, the food to go is the taqwa. The taqwa in Allah. وَمَقْصَدِي مَوْلَاي. And my ending is my Moula. He said, I found out he's going to Hajj. Because they're all going to Hajj and this young child is also going to Hajj. He said, I tell him, who are you? He said, he tells me, Ana Qurashi, I am from Quraysh. He said, I tell him, Zidni, tell me more. He tells me, Ana Hashimi, I'm from the clan of Bani Hashim. He says, I tell him, tell me more. He says, Ana Alawi, I'm from the children of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And then he did not say anything. He says, I left him. We go to the Hajj. A few days later in the Hajj, I see him sitting and there's a big group of people. They're learning from him and they're gathering around him. I ask, who is that young child? They tell me, Hada Ali ibn al-Husayn ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. This, my dear brothers and sisters, is ibadah. Teach your children from a young age ibadah. Don't come and say, my child is still young. My child doesn't need it right now. Look at Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam. Very beautiful story from Imam al-Husayn. There was a man by the name of Abu Abdullah al-Sulami. This man, he taught one of the children of Imam al-Husayn Surah al-Fatiha. He taught one of the children of Imam al-Husayn Surah al-Fatiha. Now Imam al-Husayn, he himself could teach his children. A young child, he taught him Surah al-Fatiha. Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam, he took a handful of rubies and jewelry. They say a mouthful of rubies and the hadith, and he gave it to that man. And he gave him an outfit, and he gave him a great amount of money. Some people, they came and they told him, you gave him all of that for Fatiha? He said, what I gave him is nothing compared to what he taught my son. And this, my dear brothers and sisters, shows us how the Ahlul Bayt, they invested in their children. Today, some of us, we invest in our children, but I say, I want my child to go to the best university. Who cares if he doesn't attend the masjid? Who cares if he's not praying right now? This is my investment. I want my child to have top grades, best sports, best activities, extracurricular activities, so that my child goes in the best university. And then some people, they say, it's okay if he's missing prayer. It's okay if he doesn't have Islam. It's okay, he'll learn it later. This is a wrong investment, my dear brothers and sisters. Invest in the akhlaq, invest in the manners, invest in the ibadah of your children. This is why it's very important when a father is praying to have their children praying with them. We should not underestimate salah. This is what Imam al-Husayn gave his life for. And this is what Imam al-Husayn did, and that's why you see the family of Imam al-Husayn, they never let go of Imam al-Husayn. They followed him. Even when the Imam was in the middle of the battlefield, you see the children, they would come and put their hands in front of the swords to protect Imam al-Husayn. This is what they did. They say one of the children of Imam al-Hasan, Abdullah ibn al-Hasan, the last moment Imam al-Husayn was on the ground, they were striking him, he comes and he puts his hand in front of the sword. Because they saw the discipline and the teaching from the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. My dear brothers and sisters, we're talking about the roles of Imam Zayn al-Abidin. And one final role. Today a lot of people, they come in when they imagine Zayn al-Abidin, they imagine a weak person, someone who's being pulled and dragged and he has no rights and he's silent in the face of aggressors. That's a wrong thinking. The Imam alayhi salam was brave. In fact, the Imam is always the bravest person of his time. Always the bravest. Whether Amir al-Mu'mineen in the battle or Zayn al-Abidin while he's tied in the chains, he's the bravest person of his time. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, and this teaches us that bravery is not always with the sword. Sometimes bravery is with your tongue. Bravery is speaking against oppression. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, they were taken, the family of Imam al-Husayn, they took them to Kufa. They took them to the palace of Ibn Ziyad. And Ibn Ziyad, he started asking who is who. He wanted to know who is everyone. He looks at Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he tells him, who are you? What's your name? Imam Zayn al-Abidin tells him, Ana Ali ibn al-Husayn. I am Ali, the son of Husayn. He tells him, Awalays qad qatala Allahu aliya. Didn't God kill Ali? Referring to Ali al-Akbar. Because he heard one of the children of Imam al-Husayn by the name of Ali al-Akbar was killed. So he says, didn't God kill Ali? And he says, God killed Ali. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he tells him, Kana li akh qatalahu an-nas. I had a brother by the name of Ali, but he was killed by the people. Don't say God killed my brother. It was the people who killed Ali al-Akbar. Imam Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, he tells him, بَلْ قَتَلَهُ اللَّهِ. No, it was God who killed him. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he says, Allah يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها. Ultimately, God is the one who takes the soul. Yes, he recited a verse. Ultimately, Allah is the one who takes the soul. He tells him, you have the audacity to reply back to me? Oh guards, come and kill him. They come and they try to kill Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. Here, Sayyida Zainab, she comes in between those men with the swords and Zayn al-Abidin, and she tells him, Yabna Ziyad, have you not had enough of our blood? Have you not had enough of the blood of Bani Hashim? And he, Ibn Ziyad, Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he tells Zainab, let me speak to him. And then he tells him, Yabna Ziyad, atuhaddiduni bil-qatl? You threaten me. You threaten me that you're going to kill me. أما تعلم أن القتل لنا عادة وكرامتنا من الله الشهادة? Don't you know that qatl, being killed, is something very routine and normal for us, and the greatest honor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us shahada. Look at the bravery of Imam Zayn al-Abidin. This is one bravery, and there was another bravery in the palace of Yazid. When the family of Imam al-Hussein were taken to Damascus, they were taken to Sham, and in these days the family of Imam al-Hussein, the caravan, is entering into Sham. They say that they kept the family of Imam al-Hussein outside for 3 days so that they could decorate the city, so that the city could be prepared for this huge parade, parading the family of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam into Damascus. And that was perhaps one of the most difficult days and times for the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Because when they took them into Kufa, the people of Kufa, they all began to cry. But when they took them into Damascus, they all were pointing at the Ahlul Bayt and making fun of the Ahlul Bayt, and they started ridiculing the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. There was a man, one of the Sahaba of Rasulullah, by the name of Sahl ibn Sa'd al-Sa'idi. He says, I entered into Damascus and I saw that the whole city is decorated. Everyone is preparing for a Eid. He says, أَلِأَهْلِ الشَّامِ عِيدٌ لَا نَعْرِفُهُ نَحْنُ? Is there a Eid for the people of Sham that we don't know about? They tell him, no, but the head of Hussein ibn Ali is going to be entered today in the city. He says, Subhanallah, the city is decorated when the rayhana, the flower of Rasulullah, his head is being entered into the city. He says, I tell them, which direction is the family of Imam al-Hussein coming from? They point to the direction Bab al-Sa'at, the door of Sa'at. He says, I go there and I wait until I see the caravan pass. I see a very long spear in front of that caravan, and the head of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, with the wind playing with the beard of Aba Abdullah on top of the spear. And I heard the head reciting, Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahfi wal-raqim كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. The head was reciting the Quran. He says, I tell him, بل رأسك أعجب وأعجب يا ابن رسول الله. Seeing your head like this is stranger for me than the story of the people of the cave. He says, I saw the caravan passing, and I saw Zayn al-Abidin. He has the medal, it is tied to his neck, and that same medal is tied to the neck of Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam. He says, I go to one of the daughters, one of the women. He tells her, Ana Sa'd ibn Sahl ibn Sa'd al-Sa'idi. I am from the one who saw your grandfather, Rasulullah. She tells him, Oh Sahl, do you have some money? He says, yes, what do you need with the money? She says, give some money to this man who's carrying the head, and let him go away from us so that people see the head instead of looking at us, the family of Rasulullah. He says, then I go to Zayn al-Abidin. He says, the Imam alayhi salam, he tells me, Oh Sahl, do you have a piece of fabric Do you have something? He says, yes, I do. I took out a piece of fabric and he placed it in between the metal, which had nails that was pointing and hitting the neck of Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. As the family of Imam al-Hussein were entered into Damascus, one man, he comes and he starts ridiculing and attacking and cursing at the Ahl al-Bayt. Alhamdulillah alladhi qatalakum, alhamdulillah alladhi fadahakum. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he tells him, Ya Shaykh, this man was an old man. He tells him, Ya Shaykh, hal qara'ta al-Quran? Have you recited the Quran? He tells him, yes. What do you have to do with the Quran? He thought they were outsiders, rebels. He tells him, have you recited the verse, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ, and give the qurba the right? He tells him, yes. He tells him, نَحْنُ الْقُرْبَى يَا شَيْخ, we are the family of Rasulullah. He tells him, have you recited the verse, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا غَنِمْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَإِنَّ لِلَّهِ خُمُسَهُ وَلِلرَّسُولِ وَلِذِي الْقُرْبَى. He tells him, yes, what do you have to do with it? He tells him, نَحْنُ الْقُرْبَى. He tells him, have you read the verse, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ? Tells him, we are the family of Rasulullah. He tells him, have you recited the verse, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. He tells him, we are the family. The man, he says, by God, you are the family of the Prophet. Then he began to curse at Yazid. And Yazid's men, they came and they killed the man and placed his head on the door. The family of Imam al-Hussein were entered into Damascus, and Imam Zayn al-Abidin delivered that powerful sermon which he shook the foundations of the government of Yazid and Bani Umayyah. And after that, the family of Imam al-Hussein were sent back to Medina. But Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he remained for the rest of his life crying for his father, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, because that was his way of telling people of the injustice that fell on the family of Imam al-Hussein. He would go and see the butchers, they're about to slaughter a sheep, and he would stand and he would tell them, oh butchers, I ask you a question. Have you given water to the sheep before killing it? They tell him, yes, we follow the sunnah of your grandfather Rasulullah. Then he would face Medina, and then he would face Karbala and say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Oh Aba Abdullah, they killed you without giving you a drop of water. Abu Hamza Thumani, he tells the Imam, he tells him, oh my master, haven't you had enough of crying? You cried so much, this is bad for you, this hurts you. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he tells him, oh Aba Hamza, being our uncle, he tells him, your uncle, your grandfathers, they were all killed. Why do you cry so much for Imam al-Hussein? He tells him, al-qatlu lana aada wa karamatuna min Allah al-shahada. Yes, oh Aba Hamza, our men have been killed, but when have you heard, oh Abu Hamza, that the women of the Ahl al-Bayt have taken and paraded from city to city? Every time I look at my sisters and my aunts and my daughters, I remember them being paraded across the Muslim land. When Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he was poisoned by Al-Walid ibn Abd al-Malik, Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, he was preparing to wash the body of Imam Zayn al-Abidin. Jabir ibn Yazid al-Ju'fi, one of the companions of Imam al-Baqir, he says, I saw Imam al-Baqir crying so much, uncontrollably. He tells him, what has happened? What have you seen? He tells him, oh Jabir, I saw two lines on the back of Imam, my father Imam Zayn al-Abidin. One was a line of the bag that he used to carry to deliver the food, and another was the sign of the torture that the Imam alayhi salam endured when the metal was wrapped around him. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. العلي العظيم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Let us raise our hands in dua. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات، إنك مجيب الدعوات، إنك غافر الخطيئات وجاعلها حسنات، إنك على كل شيء قدير. May Allah grant us the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein al-Zayn al-Abidin. May Allah grant us the shafa'ah of the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam. May Allah rid this world of the injustice and the suffering. May Allah protect the Muslims wherever they may be. May Allah protect the Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib. May Allah hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time and make us from his sincere and loyal supporters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring his blessings upon this family, the family of the host, and upon all of the mu'mineen who shed tears for the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. ببركة الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. يا حسين 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 يا حسين
میری دا زینب کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. میری دا زینب کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. میری دا زینب کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. عالم غربت میں حالے احمد مقدار ہے. اب نہ لشکر ہے نہ عبا سے علم بردار ہے. ہائے کیا بدلی ہوئی اب وقت کی رفتار ہے. ہائے کیا بدلی ہوئی اب وقت کی رفتار ہے. سامنے رکھا ہوا پر پیش ہے ابرار ہے. میری کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. میری کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. ظلم ہے کرسی نشی کن بانبی کا ہے کڑا، اور ایک بیمار ہے زنجیر میں جکڑا ہوا ہے. رسن میں سب کے جانے اور سکینہ کا گلا ہے. رسن میں سب کے جانے اور سکینہ کا گلا. ہائے بچی کے لیے اب سانس لینا پار ہے. میری زینب کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. میری زینب کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. علی اصغر کا سر جیسے کوئی تازہ کری، مادر بے شیر کی جس دم نظر اس پر پڑی. گود میں لے کر سلانے کی تمنا جاگ اٹھی. گود میں لے کر سلانے کی تمنا جاگ اٹھی. ہاتھ رسی میں بندھے ہیں، ماں بہت لاچار ہے. میری زینب کھڑی ہے، شام کا دربار ہے. نہیں سر پہ بھائی کے بہن کی ہے نظر ٹھہری ہوئی ہوٹ وہ شبیر کے اور دست ظالم میں چھڑی ہوٹ وہ شبیر کے اور دست ظالم میں چھڑی یہ بہن کے دل پر ایک چلتی ہوئی تلوار ہے میری نازنا کھڑی ہے شام کا دربار ہے میری نازنا کھڑی ہے شام کا دربار ہے پاس بابا کی نہیں کوئی نہیں اب آسرا فاطمہ کی بیٹیوں پر وقت کیسا آ گیا دل یہی کہتا ہے اختر اب علی کو دے صدا دل یہی کہتا ہے اختر اب علی کو دے صدا آپ کی بیٹی کو مولا اکرما درکار ہے میری نازنا کھڑی ہے شام کا دربار ہے میری نازنا کھڑی ہے شام کا دربار ہے یا حسین 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 سجاد میں زینب ہوں میرے سر پردہ کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میں زینب ہوں میرے سر پردہ کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجمان کوفیوں کا میرے چلنے کی جا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میں زینب ہوں میرے سر پردہ کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میرے سر سے آدھا نے چنی چادر بلوے میں نبی زادی پھر وائی گئی در در پھر جائے ردا مجھ کو اور میری دعا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میں زینب ہوں میرے سر پہ ردا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میرے دل کو یہ درد سرکار کا نیزے سے جب خاک پہ آتا ہے سر میرا مولا دیکھے کمر سے بڑا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میں زینب ہوں میرے سر پہ ردا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد چلوں کیسے لاکھوں نے تماشائی یاد آتا ہے میرے کے آواز میرا بھائی یاد کرو کس سے اب تیرے سوا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میں زینب ہوں میرے سر پہ ردا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا معلوم ہے آدھوں کو غازی کی بہنوں میں اے دست ہے وہ غازی پابند رسموں میں یارائے وفا اس کی جب پاس رہا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا سجاد میں زینب ہوں میرے سر پہ ردا کوئی نہیں بازار جفا بازار ستم میں تھا زینب کا جب عالم مظہر میں لکھوں کیسے ظالم نے کہا جس لگی کون تیرا وارث
اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی پاؤں میں ہے آبلے پاؤں میں ہے آبلے اور آبلوں میں خار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی آنکھ میں آنسو اور زخم جگر میں ہوٹوں پہ رضا کا نوحہ درب و بلا سے ہر شام تک وہ کانٹوں پہ سفر کرتا تھا تیری سیدانیاں تیری سیدانیاں اس پر ستم بازار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی دیکھنے والی آنکھوں نے دیکھا اس راہ میں بھی منظر ایک مسافر پابند سفر ہے خود اپنی لاش اٹھا کر یہ امام وقت ہے یہ امام وقت ہے اور قافلہ سالار بھی ہو سلام سفر جو قیدی ہے بیمار بھی ہو سلام سفر جو قیدی ہے بیمار بھی ایک چہرہ سجاد کی حالت فریاد یہی میرا یقین ہے ایمان ہے میرا آزام کے بے کس قیدی روئیں گے تجھ پر صدا روئیں گے تجھ پر صدا مسند بھی اور دستار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی ہو سلام اس پر کہ جو قیدی بھی ہے بیمار بھی سجاد 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 سجاد
السلام علیکم یا ابا عبداللہ السلام علیکم یا ابن رسول اللہ السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام علیکم یا غریب الغرباء السلام علیکم یا معین الضعفاء الفقراء السلام علیکم یا سلطان ابو الحسن یا علی ابن موسیٰ یا رضا روحی و جسمی لک الفدا السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام علیکم صابر اسر زمان السلام علیکم خلیفۃ الرحمان السلام علیکم شریک القرآن السلام علیکم یا امام زمان حاضر عظم اللہ ظہورک وصاح اللہ مخرج ظہورک السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ